Tunisian Crochet Lace. This lace pattern I've called Starry Stripes. It creates stitches that are pulled together, and then you've also got a line of reverse Tunisian crochet to divide each of the little stars. So I'll now demonstrate this pattern. It's a 2-row pattern. With lace, Tunisian lace, quite often the return pass is not the standard return pass, because that's where the laciness of the pattern is brought out. So I've already worked one repeat of this pattern, so I'm now about to start with the beginning of the repeat row. So we've already got on our fabric here, we've already got groups of 3 loops or 3 stitches. So the beginning of this row, which is a Tunisian double stitch row, the American double crochet term, which in English would be Tunisian treble. I'm going to start with a chain 1 just to give myself a little bit more height at the side edge here. And now we're going to work into the bar at the top of this group of 3, and we're working Tunisian double stitch, so that means I start with a yarn around the hook, and then I'm going to go under the bar that's above the group of 3 stitches, pull a loop through and pull a loop through. I now need to work 2 more Tunisian double stitches into that same space. 2 and then 1 more. So that gives me 3 double stitches into the bar above the group of 3. We're now going to move to the next group of 3 and repeat that. So it's yarn round hook, under the bar, pull a loop through, pull a loop through. So Tunisian double stitch into the bar above the group of 3 stitches. And I've got, let's just work that one again. So that's 1, 2, yarn round hook into the space. So you must make sure that you're just working the first yarn round hook pull through 2 of a double crochet, or treble in British terms. We're not completing the stitch because we need to leave a loop on the hook. And then I've got 1 more group here, so I need to do another 3 double Tunisian double stitch into the top of this group of 3. So I've now worked all the way across to the end of the row, up to the edge stitch, and we're going to work a normal Tunisian double stitch into the edge chain. So we need to find the edge chain, make sure we get under both sides of the chain and pull up a loop. So that's the forward pass, where I've created groups of 3 above the groups of 3 that were pulled together. The return pass for this row is a standard return pass. So yarn round hook, pull through 1, yarn round hook and pull through 2 all the way to the end of the row. So we're now back at the beginning of the piece, and we're now going to work the next row. So this next row is going to be a Tunisian reverse stitch row. So we need to find the back bar of the first stitch. Remember, we always miss the very first stitch because we've already got a loop on the hook. So I find it easier for the first stitch to turn it over so I can find my back bar, vertical bar, and then with the yarn still at the back, yarn round and pull through. Once I've got the first one in place, I usually find it easier to just carry on working. So the hook stays to the back, you go through the back vertical bar, pull the yarn loop through. So if you need to work slowly, just to make sure you're always getting the back vertical bar. And what this does is create a ridge on the front of the fabric. So you work all the way across to the end of the row, and then I work the edge stitch just as a normal edge stitch. So we go into the end stitch and pull up a loop. So that's the normal forward pass for a reverse Tunisian stitch. However, to create the lace pattern that we've got, we're going to do a non-standard return pass. So the return pass on this row starts with 2 chains, and then we're going to put the yarn around the hook and pull through 4 loops on the hook. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that pulls 3 stitches together. So we've got the stitch that was already on the hook plus 3 stitches pulled together in a group, and then we do chain 2, 1, 2, and again yarn around hook and pull through 4 loops. That's 1 plus 3 more loops, chain 2, and again pull through 4 loops. So we've got to the point where we've just got 2 loops left, so we're going to do a chain 1 so that we've still got the right number of stitches across the row, and then the last yarn round hook and pull through 2. So that's the repeat for the Starry Stripes. We've now got this row set up to start making our row where we do 3 Tunisian double stitches into the tops of each group with a standard return, and then we do the reverse Tunisian and do a non-standard return to create our groups again. That's how to work the Starry Stripes pattern.